All praises to Yahawah, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. I'm gonna make this video quick, man. Alright? I'm gonna try to make this video quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23. Thus saith Yahawah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahawah, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahawah. So what is that telling us, man? One of those points it makes in the scripture, in Jeremiah 9 and 23, is it says, don't let the mighty man glory in his might. And there's a lot of Hebrew Israelites out there, man, right, that they actually, somewhere along the line, they think they're tough, right? They've obviously not read the scripture that says, right? They obviously ain't read the scripture that says that we're sheep in the midst of wolves. And sheep are not predators. Sheep are prey. But they run around trying to have this tough guy image, right? When really, they're not tough, even in the worldly sense, right? They might be big and burly, but a lot of that bigness is coming because you're overweight too, right? And then they'll say statements like they're a warrior and stuff like this, right? But probably couldn't spar 3 minutes with a competent opponent. So how are you really tough? And how are you really a warrior, man? Relax, man. Right? Don't try and make out like you're tough, because all it takes is for Yahawah to choose an opponent out of the world to set up against you, and you'll be realizing real quick that you're not tough as you think you are. Or all it will take is for Yahawah to give you one ailment, man, and you'll be crying in pain, man. If you think you're too, if anyone out there, including me, any Israelite out there, gets to start trusting in might too much, Yahawah sends things, man, to show them, nah, you ain't tough. I want you to be humble, to call on me, not to start thinking you're a tough guy, man. But some Israelites out there, they think that they're tough, man, right? They think that they're tough. They think they're no cowards, right? But then they didn't have the bottle enough to not take everything that everyone else was taking in the world. That sounds like a coward to me, that you're going to join in with what everybody else is taking. You're not going to say, nah, forget that. Oh, you want to take this from me? Okay, take it then. Because I'm not a coward. No, you showed yourself to be a coward in that time. Stop trying to act like you're tough, man, because you're not really tough. If the scriptures say that we're sheep in the midst of wolves, how are we tough, guys? How are we tough? How are we tough when we don't own nothing, man? How are we tough when if the police pull up behind us with the sirens on, we get shook? Because we know that they've got power to kill us. How are we tough, man? 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So don't be trying to make it like you're a tough guy, man. Because it don't take much for Yahawah to show you that you're not tough, right? Or to show that you're too bold, and your tough guy spirit that you have is actually makes you be stupid. Because then you'll be in a scenario where there's 5 of you and 25 of some other people that you don't like, and you're too stupid to know that you shouldn't start sucker punching people, right? Because they moved a chair. Because they moved a chair, right? You can't be like, you know what? Let me take the low because there's so many of them. Maybe I should do what King David did and play the humble role this time round. Because King David was a mighty man more than all of us. But there was times where he didn't fight out of every scenario. Jacob was able to fight an angel, right? Yet when Esau tried to come up against him, he ran away. You don't think he could have kicked Esau's ass? Of course he could. But different scenarios call for different situations, man. But if you're running around thinking you're a tough guy, then you'll be in a scenario where there's 20 guys So it will be like 4 or 5 on 1. And you're too dumb. And because you don't want to be seen as a coward, that you sucker punch people, and then you're getting put in a headlock with another man on each limb, getting told you better not move, you better not move. And you're just down on the floor, still running your mouth. Still running your mouth, man. But then if you was to do that scenario, that same thing to people that are in the world and haven't got any kind of restrictions of the Bible that they live by, you could have ended up not alive anymore for doing something so stupid as that. There ain't no point trying to talk like you're a tough guy when you're an Israelite, man. And of course we get angry and say certain things sometimes, right? But trying to make out like you're just the ultimate tough guy and you've never cried before, you've never been through nothing, you can't lose a fight, you're an idiot. Because there's a whole bunch of people in MMA, boxing, NFL, NBA, ice hockey, baseball, mechanics that just fix cars, that they would kick your ass, man. How are there guys that are talking like they're so tough when they're obese? They're literally obese, man. Not athletic in any way. Can't run a mile, right? Damn sure can't run 3 miles. Probably can't do 50 push-ups in a row, right? But then they're talking about they're a warrior and all of this. Ain't trained in no martial arts, right? And even if they are, so what? Yahawah ain't looking for tough guys. Because if he was, he damn sure wouldn't have picked the people that he's gave his word to. Because they're not the mightiest men in the world. Most of them are not men of stature that he gave his word to. Most of their bodies are weak, man. And have lost the strength of its former glory that they used to have, if they even had any. But they're strong because they've got the words of Yahawah Ba'asham Yahawah Shai, that they can breathe fire out their mouth with that word, man. With the two-edged sword of Yahawah's word. But it's very annoying to hear people talking like they're so tough, man. When they're not, though. Verse 27, but God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God hath chosen the weak things of the world, the weak things of the world, the weak things of the world, to confound the things which are mighty. Right? And the base things of the world, and the things which are despised, have Yahawah chosen, and the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. It's not as impressive for something mighty to take down something weaker than it. But it is impressive for something weak to speak into reality the fall of the mightier than himself. So if you're thinking that you're such a tough guy, man, Yahawah's going to show you in some scenario that you're not as tough as you think you are, man. He can send, let's say you are tough, and any man around you that you've ever met, any man that's ever tried to test you physically, you was able to defeat them all. Let's say you could just take 5-on-1 fights and win unscathed, 10-on-1, 20-on-1, 50-on-1. Let's say you could do all that. Well, can you stop yourself from getting a plague that Yahawah puts on you and causes for your health to deteriorate? And then now you have to go to a hospital. You can't stop that, right? We can't stop that, man. And when you're in that hospital now, you're going to be humble. When you're in the hospital now, you're going to be humble, man. And anyone that ends up in a scenario where your health's been deteriorated, right? Think back. Was you trusting in your flesh at all? And most of the time we'll find, yeah, we was, man. Yahawah gives us scenarios, man, where we might have had a situation that gone wrong with our health, man. And if you think back, you was being proud with your health. It was making you think about scenarios sometimes. Oh, I can handle this scenario physically rather than spiritually, man. And only the elect of the nation of Israel will come out of that scenario understanding the humility that they should have. But there's a lot of Israelites out there, man, that they just think that they're so tough, man. They really actually think that they're just so tough. They're just so strong, man. And the basins of the world and the thing which are despised have Yahawah chosen, and the thing which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence, right? Yahawah don't want no one to be getting proud that they're smart, or proud that they're rich, or proud that they're mighty, man. Because the mighty thing in this world is something that you don't ever get to use anyway. You can use it in a boxing gym. You can go to a boxing gym and spar with another fighter or whatever, right? Oh, I got the better of you this time round. You couldn't get past my jab. Oh, I got you in a guillotine and made you be able to tap 5 times this time when we was wrestling. But you can't really use it in this world though, because you'll get arrested and put in jail. So it's a skill that you can't even really use anyway. Really, you should just think about the training thing in this world for your health's sake, man. But then there's some people that don't even, when you can just look at them and they ain't even really got it like that in terms of the physical strength thing, but they're still talking like they're such a tough guy, man. Talking about they're a warrior and all of this. Nah, man. Leave that stuff alone, bro. Because you're obese. You can literally see that you're obese. Like you weigh too much. Like you're such a warrior, but you can't run a mile. Probably couldn't run 100 meters at a steady pace without being tired, man. But just because you think you're big, oh, you weigh 250 pounds, you're 6'3" or whatever, but you're not healthy. But you're talking about your warrior because most people that you walk past in a day, you're bigger than them. And you could probably fight and defeat most men for 30 seconds, but that don't make you're not a warrior because of that, man. Some of you Israelites need to relax, man, with that tough guy talk. Because Yahawah, if you don't, it's not hard for Yahawah to set somebody up against you to show you that you're not as tough as you think you are, man. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and Ba'ashem Rakar Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And once again, Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.